Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
Like today when we were gonna play D&D all day today, but no dice.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every single week, without fail, so far without fail.
Well,
Have we ever failed?
we haven't failed. There has been some uploading challenges, goof ups, things that have gone wrong.
But that's a
we're
delay.
on-
That's not a...
We're on weekly. Yes.
All right. Every week we choose a popular saying and take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, and if we're really lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins. But mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name, right over here, the bald one, is Jurassic Mark.
And the balding one is Skinny.
Balding.
Yeah, I'm on my way from misery to happiness, or happiness to misery.
What do you think? Will you ever be one of those? Will you ever be one of these guys?
Oh, sure.
If it
Does it
faded enough, would you just start shaving?
do I
it?
give the illusion that I've given up?
No.
Well, then
That's why I'm asking.
Then it's an illusion. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. I am what I am, right?
Yeah, no. Just some people. I beat everyone to the punch because I'm just like, I'm not waiting for it.
Well, there's some things like I will just won't cross the line on.
Okay.
Like where I'm just like, this isn't gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So if I said, "Hey, let's shave your head today,"
I would definitely have a response to that. It probably would sound a little something like,
No.Dice. No.Dice, Chicago.
Oh, no dice. No.
Sacramento, no dice.
Sorry, Alice. No dice.
No dice, cowboy!
No shoes.
No dice!
There you go. That was a lineup today. Sometimes you just get lucky with
that's a pretty popular one.
Yeah, with the idioms we choose and what kind of pop culture usage is out there. So just for the sake of giving credit where credit is due, in the same order, although I had the music playing a little bit at the beginning there, we had Three's Company, Simpsons, the movie Airplane, Meet the Fockers, Back to TV, Modern Family, Brady Bunch, Gravity Falls, wrapped it all up with, what's his name? I was trying to remember his name. Sean Penn in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Jeff Spicoli.
Spicoli. Mm-hmm. That's it. And it was Sean Penn and Judge Reinhold in that scene.
Wow.
Yeah. But no dice. That's what we're setting up for
That
today.
was Judge Reinhold, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
They look 12.
That's actually crazy. And of all idioms that people use on this is a popular one. So, often these aren't popular. We say popular, but it's like I don't even know where that came from.
Somewhere
somebody used it once.
It's 5 o'clock.
Super
somewhere.
popular.
It's popular somewhere or
And
sometime.
But no dice.
No dice is popular, and this is one thing we say often. It's like, well, so is it something you say? And yeah, I say it all the time.
Like today when we were gonna play D&D all day today, but no dice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
But going back,
it's
like,
not gonna work out.
That's
So regarding my hair.
Yeah, so you were setting up today's
Lots of
punchline,
dice. Lots of dice.
But you'd let me shave your head if I...
Well, I would want to take my current hair and like donate, make a wig out of it for a cancer patient. Is what I would want to do. And I think
if the cancer patient wanted to still look like a cancer patient.
but have the like illusion that it's like you're not sure. You're like, are they just in treatment right now, or are they full out like this is the end?
Right.
Yeah, because that's really what I'm going for as my look.
I told you
I've just generally given up. And I'm in the middle of treatment.
I think I've told you this before about being mistaken for being someone going through chemo.
Yeah,
and you're just like, you're not sure how to respond. Like,
let the guy to the front of the line. He doesn't have time.
Well, then I'm in. I'll play that card.
Right.
So, I mean, I got on more rides at Disneyland.
It's the broken leg at Disneyland trick.
Well, broken leg. My daughter with Down syndrome. I've talked about this. Like, that's the golden ticket at Disneyland. It's amazing.
As long as she's having an excellent experience, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's in heaven. The way we did it the last time we went.
She's in heaven?
No, she's not in heaven. She's
Wow.
Coming right out of cancer patients, it sounds like my daughter passed away. I mean, she's in heaven being at the front of the line.
Oh. Of course. When
I
you
don't
said
mean-
she's in
I
heaven,
don't
I'm
mean
like,
she's gone
no,
to
she
heaven.
not.
Yeah.
I just watched her dance Michael Jackson 5 minutes ago.
Exactly.
No, she's in heaven as in she's elated.
No,
she's,
when we went,
she's
which is
super pleased to
that,
take the
that form of the
benefit.
usage. Yeah,
of
no, when
she's
we
in heaven.
went, it was several years ago now, and she took off with my wife and me and my sons, or actually the most recent time, only one of the boys came with us. So we went off. We had to stand in line. We were doing the fast passes, whatnot. We had to stand in line, but they had the time of their life because they just go,
Time of your life, much better.
yeah, they had the time of their afterlife in heaven because they just. It's not that you cut in line. It's almost like a fast pass, but nonstop all day. Yeah. Anyway,
And so it's like, what are you supposed to say? Because instinctually, people will go like, hey, could you let us go to the ahead of you? No dice.
No dice.
No dice.
Not a chance.
But if there's something special, it's like, yeah, cool. Have fun. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the way they do it, it's like getting in line at fast passes, and nobody even notices that she gets it all day long.
Perfect.
But it's not even a.
I'm glad for her.
I was saying like, wow, this is so awesome. Would take advantage of it, but it's honestly not taking advantage of it because she wouldn't last. She couldn't stand in line.
She would lose her mind.
Yeah, it just would
Unless you
not.
could,
We'd be going back.
Toad
to the
around a
hotel.
TV playing
Yeah.
Michael Jackson videos.
Yeah,
then you'd be okay.
Does Michael Jackson still have his
Captain EO?
Captain EO?
I haven't been. My last understanding, Disneyland is just a bit of a hot mess, actually.
I keep hearing
They
but
still haven't sorted
think
out their
they're kinda-
fast passy kind of
I think
situation.
they're kind of getting a bad rap with social media. People just, between mascots ignoring certain kids.
Outside of that, all the rest of it, whatever.
I'm gonna get in trouble saying that. I don't actually know. I'm just
No, is
speculating.
that there was an extra charge for the genie pass or whatever, is what I heard. I don't know if that's accurate. And so there was like your admission, and then you also had, so you could get a ticket, but you couldn't necessarily get admission to the park outside of having a reserved time to enter the park. And then on top of that, there was the fast pass, the genie, whatever, that gave you fast passing ability. I don't know if that's true. I could be making all that up, but this is my understanding.
So
The legitimate children,
you're saying
chime in.
Genie, as in that's the name of a pass.
Yes, yeah. So
It
instead of
wasn't
fast
to
pass,
go see the genie or something.
no. Instead of fast pass, it's like the genie pass or whatever.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like granting wishes or what them genies do. You get 3 a day. I don't know what it is.
Interesting. Well, what do you do? Like, there's good and bad ways to handle things, but you're also the number one sought after park in the planet. Like, you can only handle so many people.
Yeah, like they used to do. All of them.
All of what?
All of the peoples
Showed up at the same time.
And then if it was a bad, like it wasn't their fault that it was so popular.
Oh, I see.
Like you shouldn't penalize something.
You're talking post-pandemic regulations, and
If I want to go in and get the monkeypox, then I should be able to go in and get the monkeypox.
that's a different park.
Yeah, different ride, I think, as well.
Yeah.
But regardless, yeah, it puts the responsibility on the person instead of like the park saying like we can allow 10 people in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure those 10 people though have an amazing time. Yeah, having it all to yourself.
That would be pretty amazing, actually.
The I was thinking about dice related games, and it turns out that Der Führer was a fan of dice. True.
Well, who wasn't a fan of dice?
Guess his favorite dice game.
Oh, this is a joke.
Nazi.
Spell Nahtzzee.
That's the one.
Oh, I use Z.
Yes.
Through the Canadianism in there. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. So of all, but like so, No Dice it has to have some sort of game kind of reference. That's what I'm thinking when we finally hit in on Origins, because the dice, what like you Pirates dice. When you said dice, I was like, oh, remember the Pirates of the Caribbean when they were playing like the
Right.
Davy Jones game,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So that kind of dice thing, it's always like gaming related.
I can't remember if we actually said we've used it enough times. If we actually say like it's the refusal of some sort of offer or proposition you're saying no to by saying no dice.
No dice.
So the sample sentence I wrote down was, "Trade me your avocado sandwich for my peanut butter one."
No dice.
Yeah.
I did come across this little a joke, so I wrote it down for the Village Idiom children to enjoy.
Nice.
It's at a board game shop. Person comes in. I want a dice. The clerk responds. The correct term is die. Person said, I want 2 die. Clerk says, well, plural is dice. Alone, it's die. The patron said, I want 2 die alone.
Did you make that up? Or
No,
you
I read
That's
it.
actually really witty.
I read it. I'm like, I gotta get that down as
Interesting.
It's a very clean joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of fat on that.
Well, before we get into the origins, because I will confess the origins is short and sweet.
Okay.
I started thinking about fuzzy dice. Remember fuzzy dice?
Oh, yeah.
And now you kind of only see them in like a kitschy, in a car show or something. Like you don't see it very often on the road
Lowrider
anymore. In fact,
dingle balls.
You might actually get a ticket for it now.
Oh, you're allowed to have stuff hanging from your mirror.
Big, like 6-inch fuzzy dice, though.
Have you seen people with it's like a 10-inch hubcap size moon? What their dream catchers?
Oh, that's true. At least you can see through that, though.
Well,
Maybe they'd give fuzzy dice a pass because if you're not going through the windshield with fuzzy dice there.
right. It's kind of like its own sort of airbag.
It's its own airbag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. What if they designed a car that had all the airbag features and one of the features was out of the mirror pops 2 fuzzy dice
It would be safer.
upon impact? Wouldn't you kind of want to hit something?
Craps a loser. He went through the windshield, through the fuzzy dice. He
So-
rolled snake eyes.
So I looked up the origins of fuzzy dice. Like, why was that such a big thing? Was it just a trend for no reason? Turns out it actually has a military background. I'm giving you the origins of fuzzy dice, not the
okay.
idiom today.
Okay.
They said it's kind of difficult.
Fuzzy dice has war origins.
Yeah. So during World War II, pilots would carry, I'm sure every war, soldiers or pilots would carry good luck trinkets with them aboard aircrafts. And a popular...
Like Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got dice,
Because
right?
he's a pilot. Yeah.
Right. So gambling items like dice, cards, poker chips, those things that could kind of fit in your pocket. Those were common. Like if they did well at the poker game the night before, they might keep their lucky poker chips and like, it helped me last night. It's going to help me in the air tomorrow. And so dice was the most popular.
I got lucky with my cards last night.
Yep.
Today I got shot out of the sky.
So now you get home with the dice still in your pocket. Dice for good luck. It turned into hanging them over your mirror, which turned into the novelty version, which was fuzzy dice being hung over your mirror, and then it became trendy.
Interesting.
So yeah, fuzzy dice has a World War II, possibly earlier.
It has that like more urban with the lowriders with the
Yes.
hydraulics in
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
fuzzy dice. Yeah.
You definitely
Fun sound system, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Maybe now still.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like a retro nostalgia piece.
Did you ever have? So my dad told me. So my dad grew. I don't know if this is just an American thing, but it seemed more American. He's like, when you graduate, you hang your grad tassel from your rearview mirror. That's what you do. And so, and I looked around. I'm like, nobody's doing that. But then when I was crossing the border, I'm like, oh, maybe it is an American thing. Your grad tassel hangs from your rearview.
That's why you
mirror.
don't see any in the American mirrors.
No, that's the only place I saw it.
Very few have
So
graduated.
I did it, and I'd hung there for years, and I guess just the swaying wore out the back end of the
really?
tassel, and one day it just dropped.
Oh,
and I'm like,
that's not a good sign.
"Oh, that's the end of that. No more grad tassel.
Yeah, you couldn't tie it up and reuse it. That's a good point.
Yeah, I was done. It was enough time had gone by.
It was done. It was over.
Yeah, I couldn't see past the cap.
And maybe if you graduated from forestry school, because now it's those stinky like things that you hang from the mirror, the scented pine. It's like he must have graduated from forestry school. Look at that. He's got a tree up there.
Got a little 89 on it.
Yeah. So the other ones that we see in our neck of the woods is the Sikh symbol, like that.
Yep. I don't know. There's probably a name for that. I don't know it.
There probably is. I don't know it either, but that we'll see in our area. Air fresheners for sure is a thing, and dream catchers. People love them things. Yeah. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I mean, the last thing you want is to catch a dream while you're driving.
You don't want anything.
It's not
good. It's not safe.
No.
You don't want, because it puts your vehicle.
You could
be over
You're just
capacity.
implying that you're going to fall asleep.
I
at the
swear,
wheel.
officer, I just caught this dream. I didn't. It's not mine.
Wasn't us. We didn't. No. That's funny.
This dream wasn't
I'm trying to
seatbelted
think
in.
of what we are way off topic, but I'm trying to think what else is just common hanging from the mirror. I right now I
think garter belts was a thing.
Oh yeah.
When you got married and you took the garter off your.
If you were the catcher of it,
or if
at
you
somebody else's wedding.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, because you would take it from your bride's leg and then fling it out to
Yeah.
creepily fling it out to your friends.
It's a weird tradition, for sure. This came off my brand new wife's
This is my
leg.
wife's undergarments. Here you go, guys. Huh. Oh, that's a little peculiar. So garter belt. Yeah, so that's definitely on the list. But now there's just like things like cameras, and so you don't really want to mess with it too bad.
Good point. Yeah.
The surveillance.
Hawaiian lays I've seen. Mm-hmm. It's a little distracting too, but anyway.
Anyways, no dice.
That's the origin of
No
not
dice.
the saying, but the fuzzy dice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we should get into a little bit of the origins.
You are just so purpose driven.
Well, I got more stories to share.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I want to make sure we got time.
We like stories. All right, let's do it.
I said some words. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
Excellent. Well, like I said, it's going to be short and sweet today. The origins of today's idiom, no dice. It's a U.S. phrase, originated in the United States of the Americas, and it only goes back to the early 20th century, best guess, and is still used more in the United States than anywhere else, any other English-speaking country in the world. So gambling with dice was, at one time, illegal in many states, and so gamblers went to extreme lengths to hide their dice. So whether it be in general, you're heading to the gambling parlor, they were hidden away somewhere, or upon a raid, they were tossed, stuffed in pockets, and occasionally swallowed.
Wow.
To make sure that no dice were seen to avoid arrest. So the Texas newspaper...
That could actually mean craps, a loser. Depending on, I guess, where you're hiding your dice.
Yeah, if you swallow them, yeah, you're definitely playing craps with your dice.
That's one way to get to that area quick.
So courts would sometimes throw out the cases entirely if there was no evidence of dice.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so, and the courts
I guess it was harder with cards. Just a second. Hold them off for just another minute.
So Texas
38,
newspaper...
39. Chew, I'm running out of saliva.
52
40. That's after you barf. That's 52 pickup.
That's 52 pickup, yeah. Full house. The Texas newspaper, the Port Arthur Daily News, April 1921, contains the first reference that we can find with no dice, with the idiomatic reference. So it's no dice when the bones can't be found, according to local court decision. 6 white men arrested Tuesday by Officer W.D. Moore and charged with gaming with dice. Did you see, quote, "Did you see them shooting dice?" queried the city attorney. "No, I did not see the dice," said the officer. So if there was no evidence of dice,
just a bunch of...
That wasn't idiomatic. Why did they say that's idiomatic? That's literally...
Are there dice at the
it's
table?
no dice when the bones can't be found. So it's no dice came from that literally would be tossed out if there's no dice. Can we accuse this man? No dice.
There's no murder weapon.
Yeah, there's no murder. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So no dice. So
That's where sword swallowing came from.
Hiding the swords.
It's like...
With the funny...
big hilt sticking out of his face.
Oh my goodness.
Where's the sword that killed them?
No sword.
No sword. If the sword don't fit, you must have quit. Thanks, Johnny Cochran.
You can't turn. Nod yes if you...
Whole torso moves.
The funny little...
He said no and slit his own throat.
The funny little U.S. prohibition type things, and that prohibition obviously referring to alcohol, but gambling and even pinball took a long time to become legal again. And but my grandparents, both Canadian and American grandparents, cards weren't allowed in the house. This conservative Christian upbringing, right? Cards.
Wasn't just gambling.
Dice.
Cards were the devil.
Were okay, but at certain games. Like,
you could play rook.
You could have different kinds of cards. But not the 52 traditional cards.
There is some history reference
movie
to those
theaters.
things. 52 cards for the 52 weeks, the 4 suits for the 4 seasons.
Are you bringing the devil in somehow? Are you justifying?
No, that was like a Christian-y thing.
Yeah, but what's wrong with weeks and seasons?
Well, I'm not saying every Christian-y thing makes sense. I'm just saying that's... And then it flipped into its correlation to tarot.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Interesting.
Ace of Spades.
Yeah, my wife, who's our generation, she wasn't allowed to go to movies because it carried, like, I was allowed. My parents went to movies, but their parents didn't. Where her family, it carried down even to her. She wasn't allowed to go to a movie. In fact, it's a funny story. I'm sure she'd be okay with me telling. I don't know how old she was. I want to say 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. She snuck out, went to a movie with a friend. She went to The Great Muppet Caper.
What a sinner.
And she got caught. Got in
Busted.
trouble.
Busted.
Was never allowed to play with that friend again. Who was that friend? Her Baptist friend.
Oh, the Baptists.
The Baptists.
You know the Baptists.
So it's just funny. People's traditions, I'm not even knocking it. Like, choose your ethics and your morals. I don't care what you do. But it's interesting how it evolves.
Yeah, for my wife, she wasn't allowed to watch the Smurfs because they were swamp demons.
I wasn't allowed to watch. Wasn't because of swamp demons, but because of Gargamel and his witchcraft.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's in there somewhere.
I was able to convince my parents to let me watch Scooby-Doo because there was no occult action. It was always
the
Mr.
ghosts
Smithers
were
in a
always
mask.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I convinced them of that and would sneak away to watch He-Man.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
But no, if it had witchcraft, anything that could even cartoony look like the occult, I was not allowed.
We got a quick one here before we. Oh my Lanta, 20. Okay, we got to get.
Oh,
this
really?
going. Okay, this one was interesting. I was thinking about things that were no dice, and I come across I was finishing up this trip where I drove corner to corner of Canada, and went to Niagara Falls again, which I've been to Niagara Falls actually with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good time.
And so it was Niagara Falls where Lake Erie drains into Lake Ontario, and it was curious about people betting, like, do you think I can survive the falls if I went in a barrel, if there's people with just life jackets that have survived. But this one caught me interesting. This one story, Niagara Falls, where I would say no dice. I'm not going to do that. There's no way. You're plummeting to your death, give or take. But there's a number of people who made it, and so you're like, I guess it
was always in a barrel.
Yeah, there was a non-barreled people that have made it, just over in a life jacket and made it. You're like, what? So there's wooden barrel people made it, metal barrel people have made it, no barrel have made it. But this guy caught me interesting, Mr. Jones.
Cracker Barrel?
Cracker Barrel. Jones went over the falls and became the first person to survive the drop without the aid of a barrel. Jones and his friends had been drinking before the incident and had planned to record.
Emptied the barrel.
And had planned to record the event, although his friends were not able to operate the camcorder. What? And this was in 2003. So I was like, oh, that's not that old. Mr. Jones was fined $2,300 Canadian and banned for life from entering Canada. He said that his going over the falls was a suicide attempt rather than a stunt.
That's what he said.
So that's what he said in order to not face penalty. Because if he meant it as a stunt, then it's a crime. But if he tried to kill himself, then it's a plea for help.
That's
to try and escape. Anyways,
did he get away with it?
Nope. Had to pay $2,300.
And then killed himself.
No, but then he made another attempt in April of 2017 and did kill himself. He tried again. So he lived once.
Died?
Yes. Made another go at it and killed. And
they should at
himself.
least give the $2,300 back.
That's fair. That's only fair. Because clearly he was trying to kill himself.
He proved that what he was doing.
14-year lapse in efforts, but
wow,
you made it once. What would ever possess you to try that again?
Wow.
If you ask, the answer is always no dice.
No, yeah, exactly. No dice. I would never. I've been there. I've looked at those falls. There's not a chance that there's
zero dice.
Any whatever. What's the word? I'm like craft.
No dice is what you're looking for.
No vehicle or
some sort of submersible that would send you over the edge.
Nothing would want me to do that. Okay, I know we're running out of time, but in classic dice game, craps being number one, there's a bunch of names for certain rolls. So, like, if you roll a 1 and a 1, it's called a
snake eyes.
Snake eyes. How about a 2 and a 1? Ace deuce. Pick two. Pick a combination. I'll tell you what it's called.
Okay. Boxcars, I know.
Yep. Boxcars or midnight sometimes.
Midnight. Okay.
I guess because it's 12.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
We
with...
didn't say what that was, but that was double sixes.
What's double fives?
Double fives is a hard 10.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm just gonna go with doubles to conclude the segment.
All right.
What's 2 4s, Alex?
2 4s or double 4s? Okay. So all the doubles are fill in the blank. A hard 8.
No.
Hard 6. Hard 4.
That's kind of cheesy.
Snake eyes and boxcars. Mm-hmm. So if you get a 6 and a 5,
11.
It's 11. But they say
almost boxcars.
They either say yo or yo 11. So there's never confusion about 7.
Yo 11.
Yo 11.
Oh, I thought you said 7. No, I said yo 11.
You could just say yo.
Okay.
Yeah. What are the fun ones here? Then there's 4 and a 2 is an easy 6. There's also easy 8, which is a 5 and a 3.
What about all your 7s? Is there a few for your 7s? Because it's the common one.
Oh, I see what you're saying. 5 and a 2 is called a natural or a 7 out. A 4 and a 3 is called a natural or a 7 out. A 6 and a 1 is called a natural or a 7 out. So
yeah.
I guess they got that one.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
it's always something interesting.
Nothing else stands out. Easy 4.
So I'd heard another. So you talk about the. Does something just happen here?
What do you mean?
Okay. There was a hissing, and now there's not a hissing.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Okay, good. That's good news for us. Maybe it's just my headphones. It's all good. Whatever's happening is good. The where were we going? We were talking about the
names of roles.
Oh, okay. So I heard one different thing than the gambling one was that also, but during gambling, so it wasn't about the swallowing. No dice, no eviction. No crime. It was that when you roll the dice and they don't land flat, that the dealer person calls no dice.
Oh.
So like if it lands on its side or props against a wall or props against the other die or lands unnaturally in that sort of way, that the whole thing is no dice.
Or spins indefinitely on its corner.
Right. If you're playing, if you're gambling in Inception, that could happen.
No, I didn't come across that actually, funny enough.
Yeah, so the dealer called no dice.
Huh.
So anyways.
That makes sense.
I don't know if it's a thing or not.
It must be.
Whatever. It's all good.
The internet's never wrong.
It can't be.
No.
Well,
whoa.
Let's
Riddling
do
is a
this.
game we like to play. It takes a 2-part trivia-based question, requires a 2-part overlapping answer, overlapping by sound, syllable, word, or words. So, for example, see if I can pull it up really quick here. Last week, if you can remember all the way back there, we had our episode 187, and our idiom was nip it in the bud.
nip it in the butt.
And we left you with this one. This common mispronunciation of that idiom is Beavis's pal. So we had mentioned...
I've got an answer.
Go ahead.
Nip it in the butthead?
Nip it in the butt head. So I'm aware that it's nip it in the bud, not the butt. But
yeah.
Nip it in the butt is a common mistake on that idiom.
Oh,
anyway,
sure.
that's how you play Riddlink, is two answers and overlapped by some sort of sound. So I got a couple for today.
I've got a couple for today. Let me rattle some off here just in case you also wrote them. The "that's not gonna happen" idiom. So stop, collaborate, and listen.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I did. But because I was so nervous about you doing that one, I have a third. I have a bonus one.
You're so prepared.
Yeah. So that's got to be No Dice Ice, baby.
That's it. Was it is just the lowest hanging fruit?
Maybe. This
Okay.
was how I worded it. I refuse you in a gambly way because you follow dun 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 dun.
I like it.
I refuse you in a gambly way. Okay, so that was yours. That's okay.
What do you got for me?
I still got 2 more.
Yeah. Let's give me one.
All right, now I got to decide which one we want to leave for everyone. I will do this one for you because it's a harder one.
Okay.
Or should I leave harder to the people who can Google?
Oh, whatever.
All right, this is for you then. Comedian Mr. Silverstein is what you'd hit when skeet shooting. You might be able to figure it out,
Is he
actually.
an Alex?
He's not.
Oh.
Go with the skeet shooting first, and you might get the comedian.
Oh, okay. Tell me the whole riddle one more time.
Comedian Mr. Silverstein is what you'd hit when skeet shooting. So what are you firing at? I'm going to talk you through it.
That's Andrew Dice Clay Pigeon.
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Wow.
So his real name is Andrew Clay Silverstein.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love learning little tidbits like that I will probably forget, which is funny because my second one is...
Same one?
No,
Andrew Dice
no.
Clay.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Andrew Dice Clay Aiken. that your other one?
No. Okay, here we go. Your immune system drainage lobes
Wow.
are not a gambling idiom. Your immune system drainage lobes are not a gambling idiom.
Oh, okay. First half of that, I was like, I'm never going to get this, but it's got to be lymph node dice.
Yes.
Lymph node dice. Nice one.
Yeah, that has a...
That's got a stretch to it. I like it.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, I got one more.
Well,
but
you
we're
should
gonna leave
you
it
should
dangling out there.
Well, the legitimate children, please chime in and see if you can answer this upcoming one. And you're going to need to do that by reaching out to us on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, or the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone.
Beauty. Here it is. This 5-dice game loves sharp-dressed men.
Fantastic. And that is 3 Minutes Gone.
That's it. Oh, was I supposed to read it again? I'll read it again.
Sure.
This 5-dice game loves sharp-dressed men.
And that's 3 Minutes Gone.
There we go.
That's still...
People ask for it. I feel obligated.
Well, it's all good. We are out of time. Hope you enjoyed your drive or you're working out or whatever you do with yourself. It's been fun putting it together. Hope you've enjoyed it. I am Skinny.
I am Jurassic Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
I didn't roll no dice today.
And that's 3 minutes gone.